Hello, everybody. I'm Meredith Weissman. I work here at Sonoma State. What I'd like to do is is run through the syllabus quickly, and I'll also show you some information from some other links. Meanwhile, at any time, jump in verbally or on the chat, whichever you prefer, and I'll do my best to get to those questions. Particularly if you have to leave and you have a burning question, I definitely want to know that.
Meredith, the question for
Yes.
you. So how long is the whole program?
It's the one semester, so it runs from January 23rd through May 8th.
Okay, and this is one night a week, one day a week?
Thursday night, 6 to 9:30 p.m.
Okay.
But there's no class on March 20th.
Right. Okay. So.
But we do ask that you speak English well enough and that you're comfortable using at least one channel, and you've already demonstrated some comfort with Google+, so good job. You'll also need to bring a laptop to class with the exception of the dates where we meet in a computer lab, although you can then too, but you'll need to for sure on those other days. Some people have asked me questions about using an iPad or another tablet. If you're really, really good with those apps, I don't have a problem with that, but we can't stop class because you're having trouble with the apps. And a lot of times I've found on my iPad that there's things the apps don't let me do. So that's why I'm recommending a laptop, because we're going to get pretty deep. There's 5 modules in the course. I will be teaching the first module, which is intro, and we're going to be talking about main channels. We're going to be talking about goal setting and a little bit about risk management, and how you can work on your professional work with your personal work and the connection between that. This first bit is really about goal setting. What do you want to do? How are you going to do that? And how are you going to measure what you've done? That's really what the whole course is about. The second module is a much deeper look at Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, how you can boost your profiles and pages, how you can start to think about measurement, how you can start to think about paid options. And this actually has a service project in it. You will be providing a social media clinic to other folks here at Sonoma State to help them answer their social media questions. This isn't going to be a heavy-duty test, and there won't be any grades. The idea is for you to demonstrate what you've learned and see how you can think on your feet when people come to you with questions. I expect most of the questions will be fairly introductory. We're marketing this to Sonoma State faculty, so you'll get the opportunity to help Sonoma State faculty and staff to improve their social media practice. This second section, the second module, is taught by Pam Van Halsema. She's a staff member in our education department, and she has a formal understanding of social media. She has a master's degree in library science with a big focus on social. The third module is mastering other channels, visuals, mobile, blogging, using your goals, determining if Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn isn't enough for you or aren't the right channels for you for your industry, figuring out what you're going to need to do. If you're working globally, you're definitely going to want to use an additional channel or two. You might need industry-specific channels. If you're working particularly in hospitality, I'm assuming you're going to want to do some stuff with Yelp. It really depends on what your industry is. Video, images, memes, infographics, you can see all this for yourself. YouTube, Pinterest, Flickr, Vine, Instagram. Mobile, how mobile functions, how it's different. Mastering those channels so that you are really confident with them. Curation tools for finding content, sharing content, so you're not just blasting your own content, but you're also being social with others. A consistent identity, and also how to integrate so that you don't look, sorry, let me talk about that consistent identity. So you don't look one way on YouTube and a different way on Facebook. You want to be clear about who you are across multiple channels, and we're going to talk about how to do that. And then integrating old and new media tools for your overall strategy. So if you're using paper, if you're using email, whatever you're using, how to integrate it all. This module 3, is taught by a faculty member from Sonoma State who's in the communications department, and she's going to help us with that integration piece, which I'm really excited about. Module 4 is all about metrics and measurement. Module 4 is the longest module. It's 4 weeks. The first module is 3 weeks. The second and third modules are each 2 weeks. But module 4 is in fact 4 weeks. So it's really quite intense, and it's all about segmenting, targeting, measurement. So when you set your goals, you developed your strategy, now you're measuring so that you can do a better job of setting your goals later and making your strategy later to improve. Particularly around with paid options and how that relates to measurement. This is more intense, but it's not math exactly. It's some critical thinking for sure. So that's Module 4. Module 4 is being taught by John Kenyon. He is a full-time social media trainer and facilitator. He works mostly with the nonprofit sector. So if your goals are around either fund development or around SEO or around advocacy, mission-based stuff, he has particular insight, but he's worked with corporate and for-profits as well. Module 5 is how you can reintegrate all this stuff, because at this point it's been kind of chopped up, and how to take your community to the next level, how to create excitement. 5 is being taught by Carrie Rigo. Carrie Rigo is a leader in social media in Sonoma County. She actually wrote the book on social media and risk management. She's a fantastic trainer, and we're really, really lucky to have her. She's also going to be guest speaking in the first module about risk management. Finally, the 6th module is back to me. So I come back in for the 6th module. The 6th module is the capstone, where you develop and deliver a complete social media campaign in your industry. You submit a report about what you did, what your outcomes were, what you learned. This is not so much about whether or not your campaign was successful. It is about it's about what you learned from the campaign and how you would improve. So there's no grade, so it's not even pass, fail, but it's certificate, no certificate. And so you get the certificate by demonstrating what you learned. That's how you get it. If you have in your mind what your campaign is going to be, and you work on it over the course of the semester, and you want to come in on the second to last day of class and turn in your capstone or email your capstone in, you can. If you need some more time, you can do that. If you want to work on that in a team, you can. You have actually several months to complete it if you need that, whatever works best for you. The capstone is going to be fun. It's really how you show what you've accomplished. You can submit your completed portfolio 4 months after the semester ends. So this is the website for the social media certificate program. It's very wordy, and I apologize for that, but you're welcome to read through it whenever you want. All that information is there about the cost. There it is, $1,050. If you are, I don't think anybody in here is, but just so that you know, if you are a Sonoma State student or a Sonoma State employee, you can get 10% off, but you have to actually go to Extended Ed and register, not register online. Everybody else registering online is fine. There's my contact information. There's also a little bit of information about each of the instructors, and all this links to our LinkedIn profiles, so you can read more about us if you want to. And here's those learning objectives. So this, similar to the syllabus, it tells you what we're trying to do here, which is, set your goals, implement your goals, measure your goals, repeat.
I do have a question. I work with a couple of nonprofits, but I'm also planning to work with some small businesses. Could I come in and talk to you ahead of time to try to figure out what the best campaign would be for doing the course with?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Or we can do that via email, or we can do it on the phone, whatever you want.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. And we're also going to be spending some time in class on that, because I think other people won't be sure about what campaign to do. And you can set 2 or 3 goals, but if you set 10 goals, that'll be hard for you to accomplish and hard for me to read. So it needs to be just a few goals, and so that we can all manage it and be successful, and then you can set other goals later. But this is sort of the technical information. I'm going to assume yes unless I hear otherwise. So it tells you that you're not allowed to audit. It tells you what happens if the course is canceled, which isn't going to happen because we have quite a few people registered. It tells you what happens if your check bounces. It tells you about financial aid. So all of that kind of information is here on the School of Extended Ed page, general info.
Meredith.
Yes.
Question for you. Currently, you said students already enrolled. What is your anticipated class size?
We cannot exceed 30, and we have 17 registered.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So there's a good chance we're going to hit capacity, but that has not happened yet. We're not full.
Great. Thank you.
Nina asks, do we have plans to offer the course again? And absolutely, the plan is to run it again in the fall, but we can't guarantee that. It's always based on registration. We really wanted to have undergrads in there with professionals so that both groups can learn from each other. Undergrads, being millennials, have a very different perspective on this work, and they also don't know how to use it professionally. So there's a lot of opportunities, I think, for shared learning. We also want to make sure that there's really an opportunity for everybody to network with each other. So this is the button you press to register now. It asks you a lot of personal information, but it is secure even though the HTTPS isn't there. Or if you're not comfortable with that, it's perfectly fine. You can use mail, you can fax. That's how you do that. Do that there. If you want to know if there's still room, there's the number to call. That's not my number. I have no way to know that really. It's extended ed. This is Jennifer. Is there a class number we need to register? Jennifer, if you use the online form that if you go to the website and use the online form, it's not a problem. Jennifer, you do not need the class number if you register online.
So, couple of quick questions, and one that might be better directed towards financial aid. I don't know if you can use funds that have been dedicated I have funds in a tax-free account that are dedicated to be used for education purposes, and I don't know if this course it's connected to Sonoma State, so I think I can use it because you're federally or state funded, right?
We're both state funded and federally funded. I'm going to share with you right now the website with all that information.
Okay.
Here it is. Hang on. This is the extended ed general information page, and there's a link to this page also in the Hangout event page, and you can see all that information, and down here it talks about financial aid.
Great.
Do you see that?
Yep.
And if you can't find the information that you're looking for, call them.
Sure.
Don't be afraid. There's the financial aid number, or you can also call the number for extended ed, and they're very helpful, and they're really good at understanding this stuff. It's sort of just way past my level.
Sure, no, totally understand. And I think the other question I had was answered already in that I do have a project that I want to start working on, and that is also working with a team at work. So I want to kind of begin putting that together early so that we can see how it develops over the course of
great.
the semester. So yeah,
please do that. That'll be fantastic. I think that you'll get more out of it, and we'll all get more out of it if it's real.
Yep.
We're not just trying to do busy work for nothing here.
Yeah, this is in the recruiting field, so I'm
fantastic
curious to see how it works. So.
Fantastic. So lots of LinkedIn, I assume.
Through LinkedIn and through employee referral programs.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you. If there's anything else I can do, feel free to email or whatever you need to do. Otherwise, I hope to see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I hope that you all will register and that you'll feel comfortable contacting me if you have further questions. You have my email address, so you're welcome to contact me at any time, and I will do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, have a good night. Mike, stay warm. Mike's in Boston. Poor Mike.